What's up, YouTube? Scotty Tradition back with another video. Well, it's that time of year again. It is the 2025 YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame balloting season. Got about a week left of voting here. I think so far I've tallied myself about 51 ballots that have come in so far, so that's just over a third of the way to where we were last year with about a week left of voting. So I'm not sure where that actually sits with the pace, but I think it'll be at least as many as last year. We'll see, obviously, when everything gets counted up at the end. And it's been a lot of fun. I've already found a few new channels through this again, and that's kind of one of the main reasons that I get involved with it every year. You discover new channels, and new channels discover you, and there's a lot of eyes on your video, and you put your eyes on other people's videos. So at the end of the day, I think that's kind of what this is. So let's get into first, as I did last year, I'm gonna kind of go through just a little recap of last year, and here are the last year's inductees if anybody forgot. Don's Field of Dreams was the #1 vote getter last year with 57 votes, and then Wade Boggs fan just behind with 55 votes. Jimmy Guns finally gets in last year. TJ Mack Vintage Cards and Nostalgia gets in last year, and then Four Leaf Cards Eric gets in as well. And you can see Jimmy Guns and TJ Mack were 2 of my votes last year, so that'll kind of clear the way for at least 2 spots on my list. And what does this tell us? Basically, looking at this, it kind of tells us that, you know, recency bias is real. I think I mentioned this last year as well. But, you know, Don, and these are all great channels, by the way, but, you know, Don's Field of Dreams, first ballot getting in. Wade Boggs fan, first ballot. TJ Mack, first ballot. Four Leaf, technically his second ballot, 5 years. Jimmy Guns was the longest guy, you know, with his technically his 4th ballot getting in. So, you know, I think that's just kind of the way it goes. And that's the way it's going to keep going, you know, unless there's, you know, some type of change to the voting process. But yeah, it's a lot harder to get in if you are someone that made videos, you know, 15, 10 plus years ago. Like, it's just harder for you to be discovered nowadays, you know. And this, I think this just shows it all. Look at all the #1s on that list for first ballot. That's just kind of how it goes. So congratulations to all those channels. Great, all of them. I don't have a problem with any one of those that got in. Another thing I like to look at is the first 5 that were out last year. So Because I'm Carlos was the first one out last year. Collector, Investor, Dealer, Hitman 23, Purple GT 22, and Eddie's Cardboard Chaos. So these are the ones that were just off the ballot last year. We'll see if any of this group of 5 can get in this year. It is going to be hard, though, because there's a lot of good first ballot candidates this year. And because of that recency bias I just talked about, those channels tend to get the notoriety for whatever reason. All right, so let's get on to my own ballot. I'll be voting for 10 channels this year. Last year, 2 of my channels that I voted for got in, so that opens up 2 spots on my ballot. And I did drop 1 other channel off the ballot. And it just has to do with, like, you know, the amount of videos made and the consistency of videos made. I do think that does play a role in the YouTube Hall of Fame, Sports Card Hall of Fame. So, you know, with the competition that's out there, you got to kind of separate somehow. So that's kind of what I did in this case. But I still have, I think, some all-worthy channels here. Kind of a little mix of old and new. So here we go. First and foremost, I think he's my first one on every ballot that I've done recently. Rated Rookie Josh. You can see he's got over 2,000 subs, 121 videos. Doesn't make a ton of videos necessarily, but he is still fairly consistent with the videos he does make. Been on YouTube for 7 years. Amazing collection. I wrote top 50 cards because Josh, Silver Jackify, Mike Baseball Collector, and Vince, NY Yanks Fan 7, got together and did their top 50 cards in 5 different installment videos, which was awesome, and I highly recommend you check that out. Just a great collection. He does focus on quality over quantity, so he doesn't just like make videos to make videos. He, you know, waits until he's got a pretty good stack of stuff that he's added to his collection before he makes a video. Obviously got to meet Josh at the last 3 nationals that I've been to, and great guy, great community member for 7 years now. So he gets my vote. And again, this is a returner from my ballot from last year. Rated rookie, Josh. All right, next up, we got my buddy Joey, Burt Cat 8. I've roomed with him at the National the last 3 times I've went in Chicago. I think we're probably rooming again this year. I think we are anyways. But again, not everybody makes it on my ballot for the same reasons. Joey makes it for a little bit different reason. He's got, only 470 subs, but 437 videos. That's a lot of videos over a long period of time, 13 years. He is a Bart Star Super collector and Packers collector, and is constantly working on that Spectra Hall of Fame set where they release those autos in at least a few during the year, every year. So he's always got something to chase. And I have longevity and consistency. Those are the 2 main things why he's on my ballot. Over a 13-year period, he hasn't really slowed down. Now, he did just build a garage this past year, so his pickups have slowed down slightly, but that's just stuff that all of us go through from time to time as our expenses in life kind of change our buying habits. So I'd go check out Joey Burtcat 8. He's been doing this for a long time, and I think is a great collector representation of my ballot. Third on the list, we got Dead Guy Cardboard. You can tell he's got over 3,500 subs, 164 videos. Been doing this for over a decade now, 10 years for Dead Guy Cardboard. And great video quality and topics. He usually takes his time with videos when he does put one out. I love some of the concepts he's talked about over the years. He really does have some unique videos that have garnered quite a few views, so I would definitely go check out his channel. He's a Cincinnati Reds fan, collector, Barry Larkin collector, but he also is big into pre-war baseball, including T2O, some great T206 cards and other pre-war cards. Just a great knowledge of the hobby, and I was able to briefly meet Ben, I think, at the last national that I went to, and hope to see him again at a future national. Just a super decent, chill guy, so I would go check out Dead Guy Cardboard if you haven't already. Next on the ballot, Because I'm Carlos, over 5,000 subs and 1,000 videos. And he's been doing this for over 6 years with cards, although he does have some other videos that he's done before that. And the first thing I have is live streams with an exclamation point there. Not everyone is cut out to do live streams. You need to be kind of entertaining, and you need to be able to talk for a long period of time. I don't think I could find that much to talk about during a live stream, so that's why I don't do live streams. But Carlos, that's kind of his gig, and he does a great job at it. He's definitely opinionated, but I do feel like he's rational and has good facts to back up his opinions. And he does collect Packers cards as well. That's probably how I got onto his channel in the first place, including Brett Favre, Mike Madonna, also for hockey, collects as well. But as far as live streamers go, that's who kind of gets my vote on this ballot. He was on my ballot last year as well, and as you saw earlier, just finished outside the top 5 last year. So Because I'm Carlos gets my 4th vote. My 5th vote, also returning from last year, we've got Caleb's Cards, TTMs, and more. He's got almost 1,500 subscribers and 1,700 videos. Man, that's a lot of videos. And again, it's got the longevity factor. Over 10 years he's been doing this. 3 years is good, but you better be pretty special if you're going to get into the Hall of Fame after 3 years. That's just my opinion. 10 years Caleb's been doing it, and he's been doing it consistent. I have longevity and consistency at the bottom. Again, those are 2 pretty key things for me in my ballot. He's a TTMer, so it's something that I don't do, so it's kind of unique to follow along with that as well. Gets autographs in for lots of different sports and also celebrities and other things. He doesn't just limit himself to sports. And also, he's a great community guy and commenter. He's commented on my videos for I don't know how many years now, and I guarantee you that I don't do necessarily what he does, but he still makes it a point to connect with others in the hobby. and that's why Caleb stays on my list this year as well. That's my 5th ballot. My sixth spot goes to Canadian Cards, north of the border. He's got over 800 subscribers, 500 videos, been doing this for 5 years. He's a hockey collector at heart, but he does do all the sports, including football and baseball as well. Does mainly focus on vintage, but he does do a little bit of everything. Again, a good community member. Met him at the National the last couple times I've been, and he's been consistent over 5 years making videos. That's kind of a big thing for me to be your stay on my ballot. You got to be making videos and kind of keeping up with the community. Totally understand that life comes up at some point, and I'll be happy to vote for you if you get back on the horse. But with the competitiveness of this time around, I feel like Canadian Cards needs to stick on the ballot. So that's my 6th one. All right, and now we're kind of getting into a little bit of new territory. Some guys that have not been on my ballot. First and foremost, now I had Amish Dave on my ballot last year, but I did take him off this year and put Insert Revolution Podcast on instead, the IRP. That kind of encompasses all the guys: Dave, Steve, Vinny. Bob Lewis is actually already in the Hall of Fame, but he's a frequent guest on there, and so is Mike, this film not yet rated. This kind of encompasses all those guys, but really it's kind of call it a live stream, but it's kind of just like a show that is done once per week, the IRP podcast, usually on a Tuesday, but it can be on other days of the week as well. And these guys just talk about what's going on in the hobby. And what's cool about these guys is there's like something like 40 to 50 years of YouTube experience between the 3 or 4 guys that are on there, and that's a lot. I mean, they've seen it all. There's not much they haven't seen, and it's fun to listen to them. Sometimes they may drift off down some alleys here and there, but I really love the show. So we got, again, I have some of the names of the guys that are on there: opinionated, fun, and hobby vets. So the IRP gets my 6th vote this year. Insert Revolution Podcast. Two, three, four, five, six. Actually, that was my 7th vote, so I have 3 more to go. So now we're kind of getting into some new territory here, officially. And first and foremost, a collector's dream, Orlando. If there was ever a first ballot person that deserves to get into the Hall, it's this guy. Over 3,000 subs. He's done a lot of videos, over 700 videos in 3 years. But it's not just that. It's his great hobby knowledge and collection is both top-notch, and that's in all sports. We're talking baseball, football, vintage, old Cuban cards, pre-war stuff. He's really into a little bit of everything, and he truly is a wealth of knowledge. And it's not that he just does that, though. He's also just an amazing commenter. He's always commenting on everybody's channels. I don't know how much time this guy has to watch all these videos, but goodness. I mean, and he's been doing this since the get-go. Just a great community guy. And then you combine it with the knowledge and the consistency and the amount of videos made. A collector's dream is a no-brainer first ballot Hall of Famer for me. So good luck to Orlando this year. My 9th ballot is going to go to Ryan at Breakout Cards. You can see he's got over 14,000 subscribers, which is a lot for our community space, and over almost 700 videos. So you're getting a ton of videos. This is his 2nd time being on the ballot officially. He's been doing this for 4 years. An author, great knowledge of non-sports and vintage. He makes all kinds of videos and takes me down rabbit holes I didn't even know existed. And it's made me want to pursue some of the non-sports stuff, actually. And, just a breadth of knowledge, and he puts a lot of work into a lot of videos. And on top of that, he has the great show footage of all the card shows he's gone to over the years. And that combination, I think, makes Ryan at Breakout Cards my number 9 spot on the ballot. So good luck to Ryan this year. And last but not least, this is another guy I have as a first ballot, and that is Mike at Junk Wax Hero. over 11,000 subscribers, 700 plus videos, and again, that's only over a 3-year period. That's just a lot of work put in over a 3-year period. There are a lot of hobby news channels, and they tend to get a lot of subscribers for some reason. It's just, I don't know if that's just how the algorithm works, that it just flocks more people to their channels. But Mike isn't your typical hobby news channel. Like, he doesn't like drum up drama necessarily, and have all these like wild titles and everything. He's just a chill, rational, and I think I wrote that on there, reasonable and rational opinions. That's what I look for. That's who I vibe with. People that are just kind of tell it how it is and kind of give me their honest, authentic opinion of something. Not just looking for the drama and excitement. So that's why Mike's on my list. Not only is he just a hobby news channel, he delivers it in a way that works for me. And Junk Wax Hero is great to put on for like car rides and when I'm working on other stuff. And he's also a collector. You can follow along with his collection. And then at the bottom I have the Attainable COE, Collection of Envy. And this is something he's been working on over the last half a year. And he's basically taking 100 cards from all the different sports and some of the best athletes in the history and counting down as to like what would be a good solid collection of players to have. And it's been really fun to follow along with that. So best of luck to you this year, Junk Wax Hero. So that is everything as far as my ballot goes. One thing I will mention is I really do wish there could be a senior committee. And I talked to Jake about this before. Not sure if it's something he'll ever entertain, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it. I would love a senior committee. What I mean by that is just people that are already in the YouTube Hall of Fame and have a minimum of 10 years on YouTube as far as voting for somebody. Sorry, I'm just shutting off an alarm here. All right, there we go. Minimum of 10 years on YouTube is what I think should be the criteria for voting for a channel. And if we could only vote for one per year, I think that would be something that we should do. Otherwise, there's just some of these older channels are just flat out, they're never going to get in the Hall of Fame, which is unfortunate because they have made enough of a contribution to our community, I feel like. So I think a senior committee made up of current YouTube Hall of Famers to elect one channel per year that has been on YouTube for at least a decade. That'd be my suggestion, if you will. And one last thing I'd like to say is, for those of you who are hesitant about voting in this thing, just vote. It's not necessary. Like, don't get dismayed because like your person or your favorite channel or your guy you don't think has a chance to get in. That's not what this is all about. At least I don't think. At its base, it's a chance for you to call out those channels that mean something to you. And why wouldn't you do that if given the opportunity, is my question. There isn't much cooler there isn't much of a cooler thing in this world to be told by another channel or another person that, hey, you mean something to me and you motivate me in some way or you inspire me in some way. And I think if we're given the opportunity to do that, in a community, why wouldn't we do that? At its base, I think that's what the Hall of Fame is all about, regardless of if you have a realistic shot in getting in or not. It's just fun to do every year, and that's why I do it. So I hope everybody takes that in mind. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and we'll talk to you again real soon.